Dominating your fantasy league? Prove it.
Shaping up to be a great game between these two teams. There's no telling what might happen.
Enhance the game with 3 easy steps. Predict, compete, and win. Start now and play your first $20 risk-free. Only on WINVIEW.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Appreciate everybody who's already tuning in. Welcome to the part 2 of the film breakdown, Tua Tagovailoa versus the Carolina Panthers. We're about to get started, but y'all hit that like button on your way in. They haven't been sending out the notifications. Salute to everybody who already commented in the comment section. What's up, Meyer Justice? I see everybody. Bonesy or Bonez, you already know I always get that wrong. Clemente 3472 in the house. Joe Lee, what's up? What's up? Seaside Sniper, that's what's up. 87 Swoosh. I'm glad that you were able to go to the game, man. That's what's up. Listen, man, we're gonna dive right in. We're gonna get back to the film breakdown from Sunday. This is exactly where we left off. So this is the very next play. We're going to continue from here. It's only about 13 minutes left of film. So it ain't much left in this game that I think really is going to happen. TD, may I be a mod? How are you not a mod, Jolie? Hold on. I got to pull the YouTube up, Jolie. Give me a second. In fact, let me just do it on my phone. Because I'm on StreamYard. So I can only pull up the mod. Make you a mod through my YouTube account. So give me a second. I'm gonna pull up this stream and I'm gonna find your name and I'll make you a mod, Jolie, again. I don't know why you aren't already, but hey, that's it's obviously on me. All right, there go Jolie. All right, add as moderator. All right, you got that, Rich. Appreciate you. TD on his Tua hate marathon this week. Gotta go even harder now to winning. LOL. It's funny. I've never given Tua Tagovailoa as much praise as I've given him this week. And some people say it's my most hateful week of Tua. I don't get that. I've been doing nothing but praising Tua all week. And I do a film breakdown yesterday pointing out all the wonderful things that he did in that game and all the things that he can improve that, maybe is the next level. It's still turned into hate. And I guess this is why I probably go hard, because either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right. That's real talk. You know what? I must say this. I actually must say this. T Rich said, "How am I not a mod?" Bro, you're right. The one thing I can tell you, because T Rich ain't a Dolphins fan. He a Tua fan and he's an Alabama fan. And I can tell you one thing. As much stuff as I say that Tua need to do this and that, the one thing I can tell you about AB and T Rich, they've never been disrespectful to me. And you got the wrench, T Rich, man. You should be good now, bro. They have never been disrespectful. They have never showed a level of disrespect. They respectfully agree or disagree and keep it moving, going back and forth with healthy debate. And it's just interesting to me that people who are Dolphin fans can't even do that. And you got somebody who admittedly is not a Dolphin fan who has never disrespected me. I don't get that. I don't get that. But anywho, T Rich, you got the wrench, man. Appreciate you, bro. Do it responsibly. Don't be blocking Tua comments, or I got to take the wrench away when somebody say Tua ain't good. It's all fair game, man. TD Fans Talk watched the roundtable this morning. At least give Richie credit for Elijah Moore. X Howard said he respected his game in a presser. It's all the Jets got. LOL. And Elijah Moore is nice, but I don't give that no credit of Xavier Howard. I don't think Xavier Howard is the type of guy that can come out and say, I respect this person's game, you know, because Elijah Moore toasted him. I don't know about that. Again, X got to be a shutdown like cover corner to be talking about whose game he can respect. You know, shutdown cover corners, respect receiver routes. You know, that's just my take. I don't know. But anyway, man, let's get back into this film. This is the very next play. I think we're going to be running from this point on. It ain't much throwing we did in the rest of this game. On this one, you got another loaded box. Man, they ran a loaded box the whole game. So the run to the – wait, this ain't a run. Oh, let's back it up. This one ain't a run. Okay, so we got Jasek, tight end, inside motion. All right, fakes the handoff, play action. I'm already seeing where Tua should go with the ball, but I know he didn't because it's probably going to be a pass over 15 yards, so he's not going there. Y'all let me know right now, where do you think Tua should be going with this ball at this point? I could already see where he probably should be going with the ball. Hey, I thought we were running for the rest of the way, but we actually dialed up a pass play. Y'all see this still image? Corner post. Y'all see Preston Williams out here? That's Preston Williams. That's a step on your guy. Let me get one for. Ooh, yeah. Preston got him over the top. Tua not even looking his way. I'm going to be honest. I don't know where Tua's looking. Maybe they're trying to set up a screen, maybe? I don't know. Because I don't know where Tua's looking way over here, and ain't nobody over here. Ain't nobody at the bottom of the screen in the 20, and you faked it to the running back. Maybe you're looking at a screen. But Preston Williams, that's another touchdown. Or that ball should be on his way to Preston right now. Oh, Preston put his hand up. Yep. Preston put his hand up. This is the same thing Waddle had earlier. They're trying to get a screen pass here. But this is an option to go to the screen or go deep. Yeah, I'm doing defense later this evening. We're going to do the defensive video starting later this evening. But here's another deep shot for should be touchdown if Preston can keep it in his hands. And he had enough time to throw, but that window's closing now, and it looks like he's just looking for the screen the whole way. And this is what I be trying to tell y'all. There's opportunities all over the field. But we already know where we're going to go with the ball. I don't know if that's Tua's fault or they done slapped him on the wrist and said, I don't care what's out there. Just go with the first thing that we give you to go to. Just go with the first thing we give you to go to. But here's what's frustrating about it. Preston is actually running a dedicated route. So to me, on a screen pass, Preston should be your first read. On a screen pass, it takes time to develop. So your first read should be Preston right here. See, your first read should already be looking at Preston. And if you don't have that deep shot, you should know that behind you, that screen should be coming loose. And it's just a bet. And I don't even think Gaskins don't even look like he expected to catch it. Gaskins looked like this was supposed to go somewhere else. And he was like, oh, you're going to throw it here? Look at Gaskins. Watch it. He running it lazy, turns around. Oh, it come. Okay. Gets hit right away. And then we throw it into a bad coverage situation. Preston. Look at Preston Williams. Arm up. That's the same thing Waddle did. T. Rich said this has to be coaching. Yeah, coach. Excuse me, y'all. Coaching Tua. I mean, if we're going to be fair, T. Rich, and that ain't even a knock on Tua. Coaching Tua. They have to make sure that he's looking for, because it's a screen pass. That's just ABC. On a screen pass, you ain't got to look there first. Matter of fact, you're supposed to sell a screen pass by not looking that way so that you can freeze linebackers to actually set it up. But he sold it the whole time. Look at the linebacker, looking at his eyes. Look at this guy right here, looking at Tua. Let me fast forward a little. Look at him. He already starting to beeline back this way. He thinking he might even get a pick. You see this guy right here? He don't put it. He don't put his arms up like he can get a pick. They were looking at Tua the whole time. And he's already running this way. This guy already crashing down. No time for the lineman to even come and secure a block. Man. This is a shot. This is another shot, y'all. I don't care that Preston Williams' hands aren't good. I don't want to hear that mess, man. Y'all got to stop that mess. You got to take the shots. At some point, them guys going to start coming down with that football right there. Bam. Right there. Tua could be flinging that ball towards the pylon. Woo! That's an opportunity. Now, it ain't me hating. We just missed one. It's all right. But this is what I don't like about our offense. They made it so cookie cutter for Tua. All right, here's the play. This is the guy you should be going to. They're not asking nor requiring him to read the levels of the field. So how is he ever supposed to get better at it if they're not requiring it? They're just trying to simply win games. They are not asking him to do anything outside of the simplicity of the game. How is he ever supposed to develop if we keep doing stuff like this? Locked in. Just locked in. Let's see if we get a view of Preston on this. Look at it. It's right there on that break. Does he ever really look? He got his head that way. Looking. Is this where he's supposed to know? It doesn't matter. He abandoned it. He was never going to throw that ball that way, even if it was wide open. That's a tough one. That's a tough one right there. And y'all, you know how I always say this, and people say that don't exist. You're making stuff up. I say 2 to 3 times a game, there's a guy that's NFL open, going down the field for a touchdown, and we don't throw it. We elect for the short one. You saw the one yesterday with the tight end for like 5 yards instead of Waddle. And that was another one right there to Preston, and we sold the screen the whole time. I say every week on film, I see 2 to 3 opportunities deep downfield, and we don't even throw it. We don't even give it a chance. And honestly, that's the same concept, y'all. That was the same concept on that Waddle play. It was kind of the same concept on the Waddle play. And I'm going to tell y'all, when I watched film this year, they ran that play a lot. But we never throw it. They're going to have to tell, you know what? He's going to throw it before the end of the season. Because they have to keep going into the film room every Monday, Tuesday and saying, hey, we keep missing this. Hey, we keep missing this. They're going to throw that. He's going to throw it at some point. He's going to have to, because they are not going to allow him to come in that film room every Monday saying, hey, man, you had the same thing twice today and just didn't even throw it. And then the next week, hey, man, you had the same thing. He's going to have to. And that's where he has the opportunity to prove that he has the arm strength in the velocity and accuracy to get that ball over the top in stride. Because you notice most of the throws like that are wide open, blown coverage, the receiver slows down, turns around, or has to come back. And that's what I'm concerned about. That main thing that they say that I keep hating on. They keep saying I'm hating on him for it. I'm scared of that throw too, because every time he throws it on a busted play or is wide open, the guy has to slow down, turn around, or come back. So if he has to throw that in stride, it could very well be picked. So he needs to make that throw so he can show us he can. Not in a wide open situation, just an NFL open situation. He has to. He has to. That's the one I'm talking about right there. And there's some other ones. But I want y'all to keep that one in your memory bank. That and the Waddle one, same situation. Those are the ones he got to make those to show, okay, I am on that next level. And I would have zero doubt. I wouldn't doubt anymore. You got to show me that one. And I'm going to give y'all some examples whenever I can of the other type of throw. There's only two type of throws I want to see Tua make consistently. I want to see that one. Go routes in stride, post routes in stride with a defender on them, but he NFL open. And I want to see those anticipation ones coming across the middle with the linebacker in front and a safety in back. Not the Waddle one that went for 62, because that was a clear B lane, nobody in front of him. But I want that linebacker in front, that safety over the top, and him to get it in the middle of that. Those are the two type of passes that I want to see Tua Tagovailoa make consistently, because if he can, ain't no stopping this kid. If he can, there ain't going to be no stopping him. Those are the two passes I'm looking for. That's why I don't rave about 90% completions on 2-yard out, screen pass, blah, 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 blah. Somebody said I want to see back shoulder throws. I want to see him see Rich, but I've actually seen a few, but it's still a debate. Was it a back shoulder or was it a 50-50 that they had to slow down and come get? So I want to see more to determine which one it was, but I get you on the back shoulder. I mean, think about it. We want to see the go routes in stride. We want to see that route concept, the post in stride, those anticipation across the middle, the back shoulder, but on the sideline back shoulder. And one more thing I want to see that I saw him doing in training camp very well, but I ain't seen it yet in the real game. The fade in the red zone. The fade. Now I'm gonna credit that to the receivers that he's had. So that's why I don't trip about that much. I want to see the fade. But so we could say there's like 4 to 5 throws we want to see that we're just not seeing in this scheme. But I got two main ones, though, that I need to see to be like, you know what? There ain't going to be no stopping this dude as he continues to get sharper and sharper. But that's the frustrating part. We're just not seeing it. And the real question is it because the coaches are saying stop, or is it because they feel he has limitations? Or both? So that's the real question. So I'm going to tell y'all now, if they do trade for Watson, it's because they know they don't have confidence in those throws. If they stick with Tua, they feel like he can execute those. I'm telling y'all, it's that simple. It comes down to being able to make all the throws. TD, do you think Tua is a franchise quarterback? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. My initial answer right now is no. And that's just me being honest, but that doesn't mean he can't be. I have to see those things for me to say that. All the pre-snap reads and stuff like that, I would love for him to have. But since he don't have it, I could wait to year 4 for stuff like that to start showing up. Because some people come in the league with it, that intelligence. Tua's kinesthetic. I'm not tripping on him not having all the audibles and being able to put his team in great situations based off the defense. But as he gets older, that'll come. So I don't trip on that either. I just need to see those 2 type of throws from him. That's it. And we always talk about, I always say 2 to 3 times a game, plays like that are always left on the field. No, TD, he ain't got no time to throw the ball. I keep showing y'all time to throw the ball, right? On those plays. I just want to see those, and I'll believe in Tua Tagovailoa without doubt. And consistently, because the sad part is I'll be like, Tua ain't show me he can do this. He'll do it one time, and people will be like, oh, you've been proven wrong. No, it takes a level of consistency. So trust me, versus the Giants, I'm not going to get the assurance he can, even if he goes out and does it once. It takes a level of consistency. Jacob said he barely gets time. Well, that's the name of the game. All we're talking about is when he does. And on this play, bro, I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry. This is NFL time. This is NFL time right here, homie. Right there. You already know Preston got that over-the-top leverage right there. Let that ball fly. That ball should be on his way. He got that over-the-top leverage, and he start getting more separation with the hand up. But Preston's like, this fool ain't even looking at me. Watch Preston put his hand down. That's the difference right there, man. And you know, and I ain't trying to compare Tua to a vet. You know who specializes in these right here? That's that Aaron Rodgers right there. That's the Aaron Rodgers touchdown right there. Woo, that is an Aaron. That ain't even a Tom Brady, y'all. That ain't even a Tom Brady. That ain't even a Tom Brady. That is an Aaron Rodgers throw right there. On the money. But I want to see him make it. Because that's NFL Open, y'all. So whenever I keep saying to y'all NFL Open, for y'all who don't understand, right here, hand up. That's NFL Open. You got over-the-top leverage. Ball placement, the corner can't do nothing. The right ball placement, corner can't do nothing. That's NFL Open. This is the second big play in this game. Well, the first one was Waddle. I think everybody knows about that one already. But you got Preston on it too. That's NFL Open. Hand up. Whoop. Nope. Tua never looks. But, and I'm going to tell you this. This is what's frustrating about this play. The frustrating part about this play is I'm okay that you dialed up a screen pass and you're going to go there anyway and miss Preston. I would like to see him throw that to Preston, but I'm okay that you're not throwing it to Preston. But God, dog, can you? And this is uncharacteristic of Tua. Tua is a master manipulator. So I am shocked that he didn't manipulate this play. He told the defense the whole time we're going screen. Right there, look. Gaskins ain't even turned around yet, and he already telling them screen, screen. He looking at it the whole way. Screen, didn't even sell it. And that is uncharacteristic of Tua. I'm telling y'all now, Tua always, he is the master manipulator with his eyes. Tua usually looking right down the field, right down the middle of the field, right here. He'll be looking right at all these jumbled up linebackers just to get Gaskins over. Because look at the guy right here. He just staring at Tua in the backfield, wondering what's happening. And you allow Jesse Davis to get out there on him, throw that screen, and we might be ripping up the field. And another thing, if he did do what I know he usually does, keep his eyes down the field, he might actually throw it to Preston. The point is he didn't even keep his eyes down the field to care. He'll get these right. He'll get these right. At some point, he got to throw them. At some point, he has to throw them. We'll get it out of him. I know it. All right, the next play. Oh, this is the same. This is the same one. There are missed open receivers in every game. Yeah, we know, AB. There are. Like I said, even if he misses Preston on that, like he did Waddle earlier, at least sell the screen. All right, here we go. Oh, we throwing it again. And we got a flag on this one. What did I tell y'all yesterday? Yesterday, I believe I counted 7 of them. This is the 8th one in this game. I told y'all we running 3 plays. 60% of our plays are 3 plays. Send Albert Wilson in motion, and that tight end is going to follow right behind him and slip out in the flat. We run the same plays. There are 3 plays that we run about 5 to 8 times for each one. Every game, there are 3 plays that we run about a total of 15 to 20 times. And here it goes again. Tight end going to slip right behind Albert Wilson. Coming across, bam. And by the way, y'all keep on talking about pressures. In the RPO, it's going to have pressures. This is considered an NFL pressure. Some of y'all may not know that. This right here is considered an NFL pressure, but it's play design. It's the RPO. Fake the handoff. The end is coming. Bam. That's another pressure for the Dolphins that the offensive line has to live with. And y'all done seen it from yesterday. We got about 8 pressures already in this game that are just because of the RPO, and 2 are dumping it off in the flat like that. Our offensive line, our pressures are 25%. We should be 25% less, but since we run the RPO, we're getting pressures. Ain't nobody on the O-line fault that the guy came free. This is a part of the RPO scheme. But that is considered an NFL pressure. That ain't nobody on the O-line fault that this is another pressure right here. That's just a part of the RPO scheme. EM, oh, what's up, man? He said, link, let me drop it for you, homie. Got you. I just dropped the link, EM. I got about 20 more minutes, bro. So hop in as soon as you can. But at the end of the day, this concept always works, especially when you got the overload on the right side and then they're crashing middle. Fakes that. Bam. Got him. And this is an extension of our run. This is what we do as an extension of the run game. These are runs, y'all, in a pass format. And that's what this offense is predicated off of. But we're driving down the field. We got 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 2 by 2. And we're going to have a false start here. Tua's not happy about it. I wonder if he saw something pre-snap that he liked. Let me see this. Yep, he probably saw something. Let me tell you what he probably got happy about. He probably got happy that when Gesicki went in motion, he identified this wasn't man, and he liked the play that they dialed up. He felt good about the play that they dialed up because it wasn't man coverage. And when it was a false start, he's like, "Oh man, come on, we got zone." And the play that we dialed up, I probably loved it. He probably loved the play we dialed up. Yep, I think that's exactly what it is. And I'll tell you this, man, this is what I love. I want to see this every time. A little bit of a bark at your guy. Get it together. That's what I'm talking about. Bark at him. I love that. That's what I like seeing from Tua. That's what I like seeing from Tua. Bark at him. But we run the same play, whatever this is. A delayed handoff. Well, maybe he got excited about that. Maybe he just saw the open lanes. But hey, isn't that Gaskins again running the ball very well on this play? The delayed handoff. And this was not a option really because he was handing that off regardless. Yeah, that was a design run. Fake the pass. It was a delayed handoff. Let me go back because I got to see this blocking scheme. You know what's sad about it? One of our old linemen looked like they got blown up. Well, you see that? I don't know. Is that Hunt on the right side? He kind of got pushed way back, but he let the guy fall, which is smart too. And that's what really opened that lane. It's like a good, bad thing happened, but it actually allowed us to run the ball. Bull rushed, but good job with the leverage. The guy is under you. Get him on that ground. Good job on that. Good recovery, I would say. Good recovery by Hunt. You were losing at the beginning, but you recognized the guy was too low. Get him to the ground. And there you have it. You were able to get a good run. I have no confidence in this run that the guy never fell. See, more of that slip screen stuff. EM, I dropped the link. I don't know what's going on with you. Albert Wilson in motion. Is zoned again. That's why you got the defense. See, you in the zone. Nobody followed Wilson. Not until the pass is already gone. And look, the free guy coming off the edge because they're trying to set up the screen. You see the 4 linemen right here? I don't know if they'll call this an NFL pressure because that's too far apart. I hope not. But you see all 4 of these, excuse me, all 4 of these guys coming up. They setting up a screen pass. Look like you're going to have a lot of great blockers in front. But God, dog, why can't we ever set a freaking edge? Who's number, excuse me, who is number 81? Smythe or whoever? Who is 81? Gosh, get out there already. Get out there. Set the edge, and he doesn't. Now Albert Wilson can't cut back with all his blockers. Albert Wilson can't cut back with all his blockers, man. Terrible. Gotta do better than this, man. Gotta do better than this. Screen pass coming. Bam. Good delivery from Tua. But you gotta get out there in front of that block. You got 4 linemen. Come on, man. This is what, man. See, plays like this are designed to work. Plays like this are designed to work. One guy doesn't get out on his way. Look at him. He way back here. He ain't even in the play. He way down here, back here by the 40-yard line. Ain't even in the play. Gosh, man, this is just trash. I can't deal with this. I can't deal. Just trash. Now, we get some yards off of it, but God, dog. Talk about, oh, my God, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Albert Wilson wasn't supposed to be on the outside, y'all. He was supposed to be able to cut back with all his linemen up there who were still upfield blocking. All right, man. Then we kicked the ball, man. What's up? What's going on, bro?
TD, what's good, bro?
Good, man.
I see you doing your thing, man. See you doing your thing.
Yeah, man. You want to finish this out with me?
Yeah. You gotta bear with me, bro. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
It probably ain't that much more. It probably ain't that much more to go.
Cool. So what are your thoughts on the game overall, real quick, bro? Sorry, relative to Tua.
Honestly, just normal. It's just whatever. 4 big. I identified 4 big boy throws in this game
that he made or didn't make.
That he made.
That he made. Okay.
Let me try to remember them. Of course, the 9-yard touchdown. The Waddle 62.
Oh, so you do agree that the Waddle touchdown was a big boy throw?
Yeah, that was
okay. I'm glad you changed that tune.
to have the well, I still don't know if he just threw it regardless, but to actually have the confidence to stick that in there, that was a big boy throw. Obviously the slant to Waddle. That was a timing one. And Waddle even said that in his press conference, just a timing route, and they executed it to perfection. There was one slant early in the game on the left side that I really loved. There was another one. Trust me, I identified 4. I just don't remember the 4th one. There was another one though. I'm trying to remember, but it just ain't coming to me right now. But I identified 4 big boy throws that I really loved. Outside of that, bro, I'm also recognizing that, about 60% of the dropbacks are passes for 2 yards or less. It's just that quick stuff. I'm also that stuff we talked about the other day with the RPO pressures that's been shown all on this film. Also, we do get 8-man boxes on almost every possession. I thought they ran too high in some of the game, but they actually was single 90% of the game. Outside of right before halftime, they went and prevented too high. We still missing them shots though, as you probably already seen the Waddle one. Everybody's seen the Waddle one, but we had another one with Preston. Still missing those shots. And outside of that, man, just a good game based off of what they asked them to do. But again, it's one of them games where it's nothing for me to feel like, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing, because it's kind of textbook of what we've been doing, just doing it more. So good game. No regression. No regression, which is all you really should be asking for, is no regression. And a few big boy throws in there to show that he can do certain things. But again, you know how I feel about it. Consistency is going to be important, and he going to have to take them shots at some point.
Consistency is always a requirement. I agree 100%.
And he going to have to take them shots at some point, because I keep proving to people they are there. They're there. And at some point, they got to be telling him in the locker room, hey, you got to take it at some point.
See, that's where, and I agree with you 100% about, there are throws. Well, first off, let's be clear. That's relative to every quarterback in NFL. There's about 3 to 4 throws every single game, whether you're Aaron Rodgers or your boy Josh Rosen. There are 3 to 4 throws in a game that you're going to miss. You're not going to make every single throw. However, that being said, Tua, you want to see more, at least you want to see Tua more consistent at reading the drop back 5 and 7 step drops, surveying the field, and making, consistent passes, beyond 20 yards, and especially outside the numbers. So I give you that. But, Tua, this is a 16-game set, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just pointing out facts. This is 16 games, right? The equivalent of one season. What you're not seeing from Tua from a field vision standpoint is normal stuff from, young quarterbacks transitioning to the NFL. However, this is where I'm a little critical of their approach with him. And I get they might be handcuffed due to the offensive line. They might be handcuffed to some degree where, to where Tua at this stage, to where Tua is at this stage of his development. But that when you base out of that RPO approach, and even though Tua is excelling at it, it's a double-edged sword. Even though he's excelling at it, it can turn around. It could also hinder his ability to consistently drop back when he's in those drop back type situations. It could hinder his ability from a mental standpoint to read and consistently survey all 3 levels of the field, because RPO is designed to hit short and intermediate levels. So even though he's excelling in that format, it's a double-edged sword, and I'm thinking about long-term projections. So not to say that he can't develop out of that, but I look at his situation we talked about this the other day. It's eerily similar to what they took with Lamar Jackson. We knew he had limitations coming to the league.
My thing is in this format, there ain't nothing else I need to see.
What do you mean as far as what? What do you mean?
I mean, there is no growth from Tua Tagovailoa out of this format.
No, I see. I hear you.
We already know he's great in this format.
He might be the best in the NFL in this format. He might be the best.
Well, I'm not. You heard me the other day. He might be the GOAT in this format in the NFL. He could do this at a high level as a rookie coming in, period. But I think we both agree we don't think that this type of format is sustainable long term. You have to be able to run some pro style.
I would agree.
You have to, because if teams take this away, there's some things that Carolina's D did in this game where I could see they were taking away some of our wrinkles on some busted plays. But teams are going to get better and better at it. Let me give you one for example, right? What they were doing a lot of, Carolina, I know it still doesn't show up because we made the plays, but this is where they need to do a little bit more press coverage because they would have been very successful in this game. They sent the safety and crashed down on the center. And it messed the O-line up because what they did, since we run a lot of motion, right? A lot of our motion is an automatic timing snap. Some of our, like if Albert Wilson runs across the formation about 2 seconds after he passed Tua, that ball is getting snapped. Ain't no Tua saying, hold up. You see what I mean? It's timing, right? And what they were doing a lot of is when Albert Wilson would go in motion, the safety would sneak down right in proper time and smack the center. But everybody on the O-line already got their assignment, and the linebacker that the center's supposed to have comes around free. So there ain't no blocking that because you're not actually going to know that the freaking safety who is in the box is going to actually make contact with the center, because you see the center the whole game getting hit by number 4, but still trying to block the linebacker at the same time, knowing he's in a tough situation. That's one wrinkle they threw at us that made it tough, especially in the run game. They did it too because it was always a guy in the backfield wide open because they did that. And they started to figure out those tight end slip screens, those little boots, them little tight end slip screens where they come out of the backfield for like the 2 yards,
right?
And Albert Wilson on the 2 yard. They started to figure it out a little. That's when we switched to plays like this. This is the 4th time that we've ran this in this game. Anytime you see trips, I'm watching the next game, Ian. When you watch the game on Sunday, when you see trips on any side, always look at the bottom guy in Albert Wilson, and they're gonna run a natural pick play. Watch this. That they're gonna run that every time.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
And defenses are gonna start to not load that middle like this.
That's just in those type of plays, bro. First off, that's designed to, obliterate man-to-man coverage. Number one, and that's another way to negate pressure. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I agree 100%.
And what I mean, the problem that I have with all of this is that I can identify 3 plays that made up for about 60% of our plays, and that's too easy for a defense to be able to start scheming against. Was not enough. We need a little bit more range in this play calling.
Oh, for sure. But that goes back to what I'm saying. Well, that goes back to the $1 million question is, okay, but I think it's a combination of both. I don't think from what I've seen from Tua, again, to him to consistently read all 3 levels, we haven't seen that. I think there's some inconsistency obviously there, but there's also, the offensive line, bro. You need time. You need the offensive line to hold 3 seconds, bro, so he can have that opportunity to where where the play callers can dial up more, a traditional NFL format, bro. That offensive line, the lack of protection, that instability is a real thing, bro. So I think it's a combination of both. It's not, it's not all the O-line. It's not all Tua. It's just a combination of both. And, again, credit to, where the OCs, Godsey specifically, got a lot, gets, ridiculed. I think what they've done, I know the slow start we had was an issue, but I think here recently in the last 5 games, bro, they've done an excellent job. They've evolved right before our eyes, and they've consistently been implementing game plans to negate a lot of our, deficiencies, bro. So they deserve, just like Tua deserves credit, the OCs deserve a lot of credit as well.
But was I not saying that from day one about the OCs? Yeah, and everybody was killing them. And I said, well, you have to understand they are actually trying to develop a system that's best for the O-line and Tua that works only to their strengths.
Absolutely. Which should be the approach of every coach, and whether you Bill Belichick or Brian Flores. Every coach should base everything they do based off the strengths of their team, of the personnel on offense. Period. So I don't look at that as, a lot of people say, well, it's because of Tua's limitations. It's because I just think it's a combination. It's a little bit of everything. But you're seeing Tua develop out of some of those issues that he's deficient in his game. You're seeing the offensive line. You're seeing specific players getting better incrementally, in particular the last 5 games. So, kudos to them. Give them credit, give them praise, but also understand and take into account there's work to be done. Tua is not a finished product. This offensive line is nowhere near a finished product. So let's take it on a game-by-game basis, evaluate accordingly, and distribute praise and critique when necessary. At least that's the approach that I take.
No, absolutely. It's a fair approach. And here it is right here. I want you to look at this play real quick. It's the same type of situation.
I got the sun. I'm out here. I can barely see it, TD. I got the sun beaming down on my phone.
Well, it's just one of the same plays that we've run like probably 5 times in this game. You send the receiver on a wheel route. You flex the tight end out in the flat, and you send the receiver up the field in the seam. And usually the tight end is open. And they waited to the end of the game to start figuring out how to defend this. And as you can see the coverage right here is nowhere for Tua to go. And even and this is where I guess it's a struggle as well, because not to say Tua limitations, but right here you can identify ain't nowhere to go. Preston, you can't go there because that safety sitting over the top daring you. The wheel route isn't there. The tight end, he already got his hands on him, just nowhere to go. And there's only one option for plays like this. Your quarterback got to go.
This is the opportunity for when I think Tua needs to, again, what I've been saying about Tua about incorporating his legs into his game. That looks like an opportunity, perfect opportunity, and it's man-to-man coverage as well.
Yeah, but can he beat that one man who's standing there? I'm going to say this. He got the advantage because he's on the move and the other guy's flat-footed.
I can't. Is that a linebacker or a D lineman? I can't tell, bro.
It's I'll know when I hit play based off the number. Okay. But he's flat-footed, legs open.
Right.
Flat-footed, legs open. This is where you want him to have that burner. It's a defensive end.
Okay.
And I don't like the angle. He already started going upfield, so that's a bad angle instead of rounding it, especially with the tight end having that back end sealed somewhat. You know what I mean? And now he tries to make the throw since the guy isn't looking, but it's to the ground anyway. And it was a good attempt with the guy's back turn to try to make something happen, but you got to wheel that.
I think if my I can barely see the play on my phone, but if that's the play I'm thinking of, it might not be the one. No, it might not be. Let me see. But anyway, like I said, I think that was a perfect opportunity. I think if Tua would have just, ran towards the tight end.
Play. He did this. I already saw this on film earlier in the game. He has these opportunities at times.
Yeah, and I think Tua had an opportunity here because he's got a blocker right there, because Gesicki, whoever that is, would have turned. If Tua would have opted to run the football, he would have turned into a blocker. Exactly. He's got the angle there. So, again, this is part of Tua's growth, the next stage of Tua's growth. I want to see him, improv more than what we've seen, and again, if you go back to pre-injury, before he had the hip injury at Alabama, this wasn't an issue with Tua. Even though Tua was a typical pocket guy, he still, it's like now, bro, it's so hard for him mentally to just know when to, I'm going to tuck this ball and I'm going to run it. I'm going to try to make a play with my legs. You didn't see that pre-injury. And again, everything with me in terms of Tua's evaluation, for the most part, goes back to, what version athletically are we going to get moving forward with Tua? And so it could be that hit mentally, bro, has affected him. Is what we know. We know it has affected him physically, but mentally, that's an opportunity right there. That DN wouldn't have caught him, bro. I'm not saying he would have scored, but he would have had a positive gain on that play.
And it ain't a terrible attempt by him. It ain't the best of a throw though. But that's a decision-making thing. Do I need to try to make this pass that probably has one of the lowest probabilities, or should I go get about 5 or 6 yards, or who knows, tiptoe up the sideline? I don't know. But it happens.
That again, the next phase for me personally, I don't know, I can't speak for anyone else, but a part of the next phase 2 of Tua's development, I want to see him incorporate more improv in his game, bro.
Yeah, but the way our system, again, everything we're saying is all good, but the way our system operates, it's like we'll never see it.
Well, no, I'm not going to say never, because obviously if they stick with Tua in the offseason, I know, I mean, Ray Charles can clearly see that they need to bring in help. They need to bring in more talent. They need to bring in a better offensive line coach up front. And I told you.
So let me ask you.
The only way. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask you this. Say they do stick with him, and they keep this same approach, never let him do anything. He keeps having high efficient games. They have a good O-line and everything, but they never let him do anything. It's just still this over and over and over.
So what? What do you mean?
And it's a stagnant process where it doesn't get you over the top.
Well, you've got your evaluation. You have your you've given him enough of everything around him, right?
But if they keep doing it, in wouldn't they already know?
No, because I don't think the evaluation tool is impossible to be complete at this point. Okay, number one, it's a 16-game window, right? Now again, I'm ignoring the Watson narrative. I'm not even thinking about Deshaun Watson. So I'm just going from a normal developmental cycle for a young NFL quarterback, right? 16-game window, the equivalent of 1 year. Obviously, you have one of the worst, offensive line in recent memory. Okay. So sure, you've gotten better in terms of skill positions. He's got weapons to work with. But again, in the NFL at this level, bro, everything starts and ends up, for the most part, starts and ends up front. So to get the firmest evaluation, and these on Tua, on any quarterback for that matter, you got to start with stabilizing things up front, because you draw up all of these concepts, these pass patterns for the quarterback, to distribute the football, but you got to have time for him to survey the field consistently, so you can get the most firm evaluation on him. And they haven't done that. And again, they haven't done that to this point. So to hear people, the offensive line is a legitimate issue, and he's in a situation where we don't even have a run game to support him. And so that's why the conversation we had the other day, bro. Again, I am not saying Tua is nowhere near a finished product. I am not saying to ignore the Deshaun Watson narrative. But what
if he is a finished product?
Well, you move on. You cut your losses and you move on. But all I'm saying is, bro, for you to get the best evaluation of him and know exactly, for me now Brian Flores and them might have a different opinion, but for me, you have to you have to stabilize things up front first. And then if he's still holding on to the ball too long, if he's still only reading one half of the field, if he's still only reading in terms of progressions first, short and intermediate levels, well, then there you go. You got your evaluation and you cut your losses and you move on. But they haven't done that for him yet. So that's just a fact. You know what I mean? So I'm not putting, it's what it is. It's the reality of the situation, TD. It's reality.
I agree.
So
it's a matter of, like we always say, man, time will tell. We need to see him in certain situations and with a better situation around him just to really fairly evaluate. But that's what makes it tough. He's going to get a level of scrutiny regardless, because when all you have is to evaluate what he can control, he's still got room for opportunity. But that's fair. That's anybody.
And again, TD, these aren't my words. These are Chris Greer's. This is a unique situation.
I know.
It is unique, truly unprecedented, bro. So
that's why for me, there's really nothing that can make me come off of that unique situation.
And you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong.
But if the situation doesn't work out, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just fine with Tua. From a growth standpoint, he at least showed us this style of football that he can do it at an efficient level. So we're never gonna suck, and that's a good starting point.
Right. Absolutely, I agree.
We're
100%.
never gonna be trash with him, and that's a good starting point. And
I agree.
You can whether you believe in his upside or not, it is worth taking that approach. But if that guy comes available in that other city, it's a no-brainer. I don't care what we see right now. I'm getting him.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong for having that opinion. You can't deny the generational talent that is Deshaun Watson. And to be honest with you, if from a in Brian Flores' eyes and Chris Greer's eyes, and we know Stephen Ross's eyes at this point, it might be already a foregone conclusion that they're going to move away from Tua, because it might just come down to Deshaun Watson is a generational talent. In addition to, we ain't even talking about, how dominant he is on the field, but it might just come down to that. He's the generational talent and Tua is not. And you can't get mad for all you people that want to stick with Tua. You cannot get mad at the front office for wanting to upgrade a position.
But they believe Tua is a generational talent.
No, Tua clearly not. Now, first off, let me be clear. Tua is not a generational talent. Now, can Tua become a generational player? Absolutely. But you don't need to have generational talent to become a generational player. There's two. Let's distinguish that right now. But the thing with Deshaun Watson is a generational talent, and he's already a generational player. So you can't get mad for people that want to stick with Tua. That's why what gets me so frustrated that when you're talking about, can you hear me, RT? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Damn. Let me back out real quick and I'm come back in. Hang on.
Oh, I can hear you if you can hear me. He probably got a phone call, and it happened to me when I do my streams on the phone. When I get a phone call, the volume goes. You got to go out and come back in. But that's what people need to realize. I think that's the important thing. If Watson clears his situation, it doesn't matter what Tua does. Because at the end of the day, sticking with Tua over Watson is gambling. It's gambling. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm sorry, I got a call and it not kind of bumped me off, but
I figured that's what it was. No, I was saying to everybody that the reality is, if Watson does fix his situation, I still firmly believe they're going Watson no matter what if he fixes his situation. That's because Tua over Watson is a gamble. Going with Tua over Watson is a gamble. Even if you like the odds even if you think they aren't far, you're still the underdog.
But what we had this conversation the other day, and so in regards to this Tua Watson narrative, there's another situation that you have to include in terms of what direction you're going to go in, because I think before we went on this winning streak and we saw the development of these players, me included, I think a lot of people was of the mindset that, okay, well, obviously we all know how critical I've been of Chris Greer, right? Mm-hmm. So I was always of the mindset, well, I don't think they're going to be able to properly support Tua.
Give me a second, bro. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I was always of the mindset that in terms of opting to stick with the draft, the resources from a draft perspective, I was of the mindset, I was highly critical of Chris Greer. We all know that. I didn't think they would be able to hit consistently on those draft picks enough to warrant not trading for Watson. But what has transpired here the last 4 or 5 games is that, especially with the development of these players, what has happened now is that it looks like, I'm going to have to eat. I got a little egg on my face in terms of that evaluation of Chris Greer, somewhat. I'm not sold on him yet, but he has, in particular this draft, he has hit, they look like home runs. So if you can moving forward now, and we had this conversation the other day, TD, you know that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm telling you is the truth. If Tua, again, you know what scenario I laid out for me to even just begin to have a conversation about sticking with him and not trading for Watson. He is going to have to win out. He's going to have to be a big reason why we went out, and he's going to have to put his fingerprint on the last game of the season with New England. So hang on. That would mean Tua is climbing up that in terms of NFL ranking quarterbacks. To me, that would be glaring, tangible improvement to tell me that, okay, Tua is moving up that NFL ladder. Whatever ranking you have him at, I always said Tua needed to get to that top 15 level this year in order for me to just completely abandon the Deshaun Watson narrative. So if he does that, I posed this question to you yesterday. If Tua is able to get to 15 and what if he gets to 12, moving forward in the next 2-3 years? Mm-hmm. So if he's able to get to 12 and he has top 12 level impact on this, in the league as a player, okay, in addition to the fact that it appears that they've turned a corner, the front office has turned a corner in terms of being able to draft, develop, and hit home runs on players. We have to have that conversation, bro. Hang on. We got to have that conversation in terms of where Tua is at the stage of his development, 12-12 status, in addition to them able to draft and develop properly. That's a conversation that we got to have as opposed to just going with the finished product and giving him free agency. So I'm just saying, bro, it would make the situation extremely difficult, in my opinion, because number one, Tua he hasn't proven anything. All of these things have to come to fruition before we can engage in that conversation about sticking with him and abandoning Watson. That's a big if. But I'm just saying, if that scenario plays out, that's a difficult conversation, TD. I'm just saying, bro. That's where I'm at.
I still don't see it being a difficult conversation. Let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something. Is Tyler Heineke Washington football team's franchise quarterback now, or can be considered?
I haven't seen enough for I don't know. Oh, well, first I'm gonna say no, but my evaluation is incomplete because I hadn't seen enough of him. I'm just being honest. But as of right now, no, clearly no.
I don't watch him for like 3 weeks now, and same if not better production than Tua.
Okay.
He also top 3 in the NFL in completion percentage. Tyler freaking Heineke.
Okay.
The man.
But I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I could be wrong. I could be totally off base.
He could be the guy. I don't know. I'm just
he could
saying,
be.
It just interests me that earlier in the season, heck no, when he had a chance, but how 2 or 3 games can just change people just like that.
But TD, that NFL's about, bro.
You breaking up,
that's
bro.
What the NFL is about.
Yeah, but
can you hear me all right?
Yeah, that's what NFL. I can hear you. That's what the NFL is about, but we've seen this before. It's about having those spurts and then coming back down to earth, or you investing in something like that, and then next thing you know, oh my gosh. It's like the what's the Eagles quarterback that won a Super Bowl? It's like that type of situation. Like this is why you need long-term consistency before people start crowning. Did you hear what I said?
No. But hang on real quick before you say that. To adjust the Tyler Heineke situation, I don't think he's a top 15 to top 12 guy, bro. So that's why I prefaced that. But that's why I prefaced everything in terms of the scenario is that Tua has to get to that level first.
Okay, I get that because it's like you don't want to get a Nick Foles situation.
Absolutely, 100%.
But that's 100%. What it could. That's also what it could be.
It could be.
And I'm not putting this. This has nothing to do with Tua, but who's really leading the way on this team right now?
The defense
in this turnaround. You see what I'm saying here? It's like give me an average defense day and see the carrying by the offense, and then you start feeling good. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
That's the only thing. It's like, but the unfair, and I'm gonna admit, unfair and frustrating part about it is we know we probably ain't gonna get that. And if we do get that and we lose, they're just gonna blame the defense or the O-line regardless, you know? So it's just tough, man. It's just a hard evaluation situation.
This is truly a unique situation, bro. Again, that's why I'm tongue-tied.
But
I'm speechless at times because I don't recall a situation like this, bro.
But I have to say this. I have to say this, Em. I don't like this narrative of keep Tua and all the assets or get Deshaun and don't have no assets. I don't like that narrative because it's just not true. People are forgetting what we're about to be dealing with this offseason. Is there a chance that we trade X in the offseason?
I would say yes.
What's the value? They wanted a first and a second from the Ravens, and the Ravens at the last minute said no.
No, we can forget about that. You can forget about that.
But could you at least get a first?
No, you can't get it. No, I don't think.
Hold on. If you ask for a first and a second and they consider it, but end up saying it's too much, you don't think you can get a first? Well,
that's at the beginning of the season. His play, number one, he's not play. He's regressed. Let's keep it 1,000 now. He's not the player we saw last year. Could health contribute to that? The lack of durability, maybe. But fact of the matter is, Xavier Howard is not the same player we had last year.
So what value are you setting him on then?
So, and also he got banged up again this year.
So what value?
I think they would be
I can't
ecstatic. Hang on. They would be ecstatic to get a third. Move it.
A third now.
Now, if his play, if he's completely healthy and he becomes the player we saw last year, okay, well then, that's a different conversation to have. But for what we've seen to this point, I mean, I think we can all agree he's not the same player. So you can want a first and whatever, a first period all you want to, bro. But no, you're not getting that based off what we've seen this year. And I'm not saying X has been terrible, but there's been a significant decline of the level of play of what we saw last year to what we've seen consistently this year.
So it looks like so it looks like I was right all this time about X. We about to use up the best years where we should have just got the capital. We about to use all his good years in the development, and he gonna start declining when we should have got the capital.
And you got to consider a 29, 30-year-old Xavier Howard next year as well.
Exactly. I said that last night. I said that yesterday. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's why I've been saying this for 2 years now. Go get your money. Go get your assets now because you about to have him during a rebuild, and it ain't going to be worth it when we come on the back end of it and we ready. But anyway, so what is Gesicki worth? What is Gesicki worth?
Well, man, that's tough to put a price.
Because that's another one that could be. Him and Flores be barking on the sideline, and he be showing Tua up in frustration. Plus, he want to be paid like a receiver. So how much is he worth? Because he's tradable too. Whether we want to keep him or not, we all know that. But what is his value?
I think you can get a second for Gesicki.
And what can you get for Tua Tagovailoa?
Damn. I think you can get.
It ain't no Rosen
again.
He ain't no Rosen.
No. I think
he has value.
Exactly. Tua has shown he can be a starter in this league, bro. So typically starters,
I agree.
They go for late first round, maybe high second round picks. That's what they typically go for.
I'll put him at a
first
if he can stay.
I'll put him at I'll put him at as of right now. Yeah, I'll put him at a first as well. Absolutely.
So here's the point. Here's the point that I'm making. That's 3 guys alone that I am highly confident we are not going to be moving forward with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost half of your trade value for Watson.
Okay, that's fair.
This notion that we'll be out, we could still make a Watson deal and have a first and 2 seconds left over.
Okay, that's fair.
It's still capital. This is why, and the money situation X's money you ain't paying next year because it ain't guaranteed anyway, but it's still on the contract. So that $84 million you got goes to 100. Well, 98. Gesicki wasn't getting paid much anyway, but that takes it to 100. And then you got Tua, $8 million. We gotta eat probably about 80% of it, by the way. But that's a 1-year situation. From the dead cap. Well, actually, no, I'm wrong because the dead cap is only 1 year left of it at the from the 3 years of the drafting team has to eat. So you're actually going to be somewhere around about 105 in cap space. Still got a first round pick and 2 seconds for the next 2 years. Plus, nobody's talking about we got 2/3, 2/4, and 2/5. In 1/6 because some transaction we did for a 6th round pick recently. But we still have all this capital in $105 million in free agency.
That's fair.
105 in free agency.
That's fair.
You can still sign Ogbah. And not to mention, if you don't sign Ogbah, well, he ain't tradable because it's contract year, right?
Yeah.
You can still re-sign Ogbah, and you can still, and then you take away Deshaun's money, you're still gonna come into free agency over $60 million plus draft capital.
I get it. That's fair. That's fair, TD. That's fair.
Do you think we can make a winning team with $60 million with the core we have now and Watson?
For sure.
And that draft capital? This is my thing. But but some people are considering Tua's growth plus still hitting on those other draft picks plus their development. Don't forget that. Now I know the guys we got are slam dunks now, but some guys just need development. We're banking on that's the alternative. That's hard for me.
All right, and that's fair, TD. Nobody should kill you for that. I get it. I'm still leaning more towards that direction right now. But
and if they decide to just go Tua over Watson, even if he fixes the situation, there's a part of me that ain't mad about it either. I'm shocked, but I ain't mad about it. It just means we're going on we're going to develop path. And it's still going to take some time, and we're going to get better and better as a team, hopefully. And
I think
go from there.
At either scenario, they're not bulletproof. There's no guarantee that if we put Watson, we're going to get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, or if we stick with Tua and the surplus of resources, that is going to guarantee a Super Bowl.
But I need to guarantee that position.
I get it, and I understand. I get it. I'm in agreement. I totally understand. But, again, my point was neither is bulletproof, but even they're not bulletproof and they're not a guarantee, but they're good situations to be in because, obviously Watson is, at an all-pro level, but, there's a high level of comfort with Tua, especially now you've seen him, he's clearly Ray Charles can see the growth in his game. And it's a good situation to be in. So,
well, if Ray Charles can see the growth in this game, then I'm really scared.
Okay.
How would you think about that? When people say that, it's actually not meant that way, even though that's how we mean it.
Right.
But that's just a side note. But go ahead.
I hear you. So it's a good situation to be in, bro. It really is, man. Me personally,
that's something that's underrated.
Fundamentally, in regards to the situation, I would love my first option, if I had my choice, is obviously to ride with Tua, because obviously pre-draft, we all know how I felt about him, and to a great degree, I still feel the same way. I just, it's all about, for the most part, it's all about physical traits with Tua, and I don't see the same athlete. Okay. I don't see the same athlete before he got hurt.
What's the difference between pre-draft and now?
We'll see if he can get that back. He's going to have to work at it. He was going to have to work at it even if he didn't get hurt, to get bigger, to get stronger, to develop more arm strength. And
my bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Something we kind of argued about the other day. I don't know if you remember, but actually Tua proved it. That I was right in this argument. He can't see everybody. You remember that third down early in the game, Albert Wilson wide open?
Hang on, hang on. What'd you say, TD? He can't what now?
He can't see all the receivers over the O-line.
Why do you say that?
First of all, I've been saying that to you for a while, that I think the reason why he's missing some of the wide open people underneath is because he can't see over the O-lineman. And especially that play, I was like, I don't think he can see Albert Wilson. I think that's the issue. And he said in his press conference, well, you know, I'm a shorter guy. I don't always see all the guys. So, you know,
you can't see when you have especially internal pressure in your face. It's impossible for you to see at that point. So, okay, Kyler Murray is a shorter athlete than Tua. Can he see over?
That's it. But we're talking about, and these are the small things that people overlook. But yet another limitation of your quarterback.
I get it, and nobody's disputing that, TD, but
because of your size. Now you punt the ball because of your size. You punted the ball because of your size. That's it. See, those are the things that people make it seem like it's small, but it's actually big.
Well, first off, when you draft, there's no such thing as a perfect prospect. No player is going to be 6'5". Nobody's going to be able to run 4.4. Nobody's going to be able to throw the ball, 80 yards. There's no you just have to believe in whatever skill set that has, allowed you to select him number 1 overall, be aware of his strengths, be aware of his deficiencies, and you just have to alter what you do to work around that. Now, the Arizona Cardinals have done that. He's primarily 95% out of the gun. Kyler Murray is. Mm-hmm. So and they brought in guys that could keep the pocket internally relatively clean, relatively what he's had in the past. So the Dolphins even take that same approach with Tua or any small quarterback. But
Kyler is getting outside of the box and making the throws.
Okay, I give you that. We're talking about from the perspective of him seeing over the line, TD. That's what we're talking about now. We're not talking about him getting outside and being, improvisational outside the pocket. We're talking about what you said specifically was him being able to consistently see over the line. And I'm just telling you, sure, that's an issue when you have consistent pressure internally. But and the Dolphins highlighted that. The Dolphins talked about that, in different. I've heard Chris Good mention it and Brian Flores. You want to keep that. Not only if your quarterback is shorter, but any quarterback, they hate internal pressure. So if you have a guy that's shorter, you want to make a huge investment on interior guys to keep that part of the pocket, especially that part of the pocket, relatively clean, because he's a shorter guy. So I'm just saying.
Go ahead, my bad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Now I understand, because some people say, "Oh, it don't matter." Now I understand why some people put a lot of emphasis in draft on the size of a guy, the height, and all of that. Absolutely. Even though you can get some Drew Breeses who is a master at the tippy toe, but I promise you, I never understood that emphasis. If you could do it, you could do it. But now I actually see, because in that maybe that's why Carolina kept hitting that center coming up the middle to take away that lane as far as vision from Tua, because that's scary to me now that I think of it. It's another thing that your defense is allowed to scheme you on. Another thing a defense can scheme you on because of the limitation of your guy.
But that's the approach of every defensive coach. They study and analyze.
I get it. I'm just saying. It makes it easier. It makes it easier to scheme against some guys versus others just because of physical attributes.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's just the NFL, bro. That's nothing relative to it. Just when Tua got drafted, they just start doing that, bro. That's relative to every player. It's like Darius Leonard. We had this conversation about when we're talking about prototypes. You're talking about Tua doesn't fit he doesn't fit the prototype, obviously. You just have to alter things around him. It's like Darius Leonard, the linebacker from Indianapolis Colts. He slid to the 3rd round. I think it was 3rd or 4th round, right? He had production. He had the tape. He had everything you would want from an evaluation standpoint. It's just he came 2 things. He was undersized and he came from a smaller school, smaller program, which caused him to slide to the NFL. Now he's arguably the best middle linebacker in the game right now. So all I'm saying is, if you got a player that doesn't fit the prototype, again, you have to alter things around him, and not to say that that player can't wind up being productive for you. That's just the nature of the draft, bro. So people are going to take what you said and automatically spin around as it and make it relative to Tua Tagovailoa, and that's not the case, bro. That's the nature of the draft. So
I'm seeing that now.
So, and I think we've had this conversation before in the past, but not to bring up old wounds, not to rehash old wounds, but another check mark for EM Dolphin fan.
Something you were wrong wrong about.
Another check mark.
Do not say scheme fit.
Another check mark. Okay, for EM Dolphin fan in the debate game with TD Foolish Talk. So,
bro, you have
but again,
never
that's all
won a debate against me, bro.
So at the end of the day, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm actually about to go pick my
do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
But, for the person in the comment section talking about why would you still want Watson with all of these allegations? Y'all stop making that a TD thing. Why don't you write a letter to Chris Greer and Stephen Ross and ask them why they accepted the trade for Watson and told him to go fix his stuff. Stop making it seem like a TD thing. Your franchise, your organization, the team you love wants Deshaun Watson. Stop making it about TD. They want him. I just knew they wanted him all this time, so I've been reporting it. They want him.
That's correct. And you know, I tell these fools all the time, bro. Don't get mad at Ian Dolphin fan. Go get mad at your front office. They are the one having these, secret meetings, going to see him, phone calls, secret phone, all of that. They're the one entertaining this dude.
Players,
not me, not you. I get it.
All that mess.
But again, the man hadn't been convicted of anything. The man hasn't been charged with anything from a criminal perspective. Please, y'all need to stop. Please stop.
And if they bring charges after a grand jury convenes, I wouldn't even discuss it. I wouldn't even discuss it. It's a wrap. He need to deal with his legal issues. He's facing some serious situation then. Right now, things like that ain't serious to me until you are convicted, not convicted, but at least charged with the crime. I don't care nothing about what he say, she say. Ain't none of my business. Did the law say, hey, I believe what he or she say? And when they do, one way or another, then I will start to take an approach to be a hard yes or no. But right now, it's a possibility. They already pulled the trigger. They already green lighted it. But things couldn't get done on his end for what he needed to do. And now he's on the back end trying to do that. So that's why. So listen, if Watson clear his situation, get over it. There's a high probability he's going to be in a Dolphin uniform next year. And I didn't make that definitive, but there is a high probability. Very high. So stop making that about me.
At the end of the day, it's the reality of our situation as a Miami Dolphin, fan. That's the reality.
Exactly.
People keep saying, well, we don't want to, he's not in a Dolphins uniform and okay, I understand that. But the reality is, bro, this team has, from what they have shown, there's a high level of intrigue and they keep entertaining. So we have to, as fans, we have to, especially people with platforms like you and Reason and Douglas, because this is a real story. And one of you all's responsibilities is to bring.
No, some people are so delusional. They still want to deny the fact that we actually green-lighted the deal and we're about to be done with it if he could have just did those things. Some people are so delusional. They are so bent on no Watson that they want to tell themselves that we ain't already pulled the trigger. Ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Texans gave us the green light to talk to Watson, which means the negotiations were over. We talked to him and told him we're bringing him in if he could just do X, Y, and Z. He couldn't do X, Y, and Z in time. And they talked to him and said, hey, we're probably going to continue forward. We'll see you in the offseason. Hopefully you can get it together. That is a fact. That is a fact.
I don't know what the TD, people, again, they're led by, they want to stay in their feelings. They want to be objective. If they want to do that, that's fine. I'm done arguing with those individuals that refuse I'm talking about the ones you can have an opinion either way, but the ones that, like you, to quote you, what you just said, the delusional ones that, they want to stay in their feelings and they think that we're wrong for entertaining this and we're not right and yada, whatever. I'm done. I'm done debating and engaging with those individuals, bro. I'm just here. My approach to those individuals from here on out, they run my blood. They get my blood pressure up too high, too often. So I'm done with that, bro. So
And
that's what it
I
is,
agree, man. Let me go get my son and not
do your
argue
thing,
with
homie.
people. But I'm gonna hit you up, bro. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Great stuff by Tua. Areas of opportunity definitely there. Hopefully he grows in those areas. But I like that I'm never seeing this whole season. I haven't really seen much regression, and that's always the biggest positive.
Which is very good. Which is a very positive thing. Very huge positive thing. So hopefully you can continue on Sunday, bro.
All right, man. Salute to everybody. I'll hit you up on the telly.
All right, bro.
All right, y'all.